So much intrigue at the top of the Championship. We have 9 points separating the top 10 places. We love these winter periods in the Championship where everyone is so close together. The kind of big players at the top are trying to establish themselves. We get teams that appear in the picture, maybe drop out. Everyone jockeying for position as we reach the halfway mark around Christmas. So they can hopefully go on a promotion run in the second half of the season. Above those playoff places, though, still are Sunderland and Leeds in the top two. Remember, we record hot takes on a Sunday morning. So Sheffield United, Burnley, West Brom, they have not played yet. So that top two could change with Sheffield United win. Let's talk Sunderland, who are top of the table. They are still above 2 points per game, 31 from 15. They are 8 undefeated. They've gone undefeated for the week in the 3-game week, but they've gone 3 draws. So just the 3 points across the week. And I think, given they were 2-0 up yesterday, what a goal by Dennis Serkin, and ended up drawing 2-2. I think there'll be a little bit of a sense of disappointment from Sunderland fans because 5 points across the week, given the 2 away games and then home at the end, given where they are and the nice gap that they'd left themselves at the top, would have been a bit more satisfactory than 3. But still, big picture, fantastic for Sunderland. Just held, as I say, in Coventry without a manager as well. Sunderland at home, you would have expected them, given their excellent ability to see out games and defensive record, to see that one across the line. It is what it is. And Sunderland fans, a few of them a little bit emotional in the comments last week, telling me, oh, look, Ben, it's a surprise that we're here anyway, and, you know, don't talk about us in promotion terms and top of the table terms and stumbling. No, sorry, that's the deal for people like me. That's the expectations that Sunderland and Reggie Lebris has absolutely brilliantly set up. You are in a title conversation. You are in a top 2 conversation. And until you drop away from that, hopefully that doesn't happen for the sake of the Sunderland fans. That is how we will be framing it. And I have to come on here this week again and say, in terms of that framing, in terms of a title race and automatic promotion, then a little tinge of disappointment for Sunderland, despite the fact, and listen very carefully, big picture, utterly fantastic start from Sunderland. And unless I think Sheffield United win 4-0, I think they'll need, or by 4 goals, then Sunderland will be top going into the November international break, which, in the big picture, is absolutely fantastic. For Leeds, they're not at the 2 point per game mark. They're just 1 point off it. They beat QPR 2-0 yesterday. I suppose if they had like Plymouth and QPR at home in the past 2 games, it's been games they would have been expected to win, and they've kept clean sheets in both. Obviously, they lost away in midweek, didn't they, Leeds? So what have I got up there? 5 home wins in a row, but 4 without a win away. However, in a 3-game week, we're looking for 6, 7 or 9 points. That's the deal. And if you're in a promotion race, 6 points in a 3-game week, absolutely fine. You'll take that. Obviously, a little bit of a sense from the Leeds fans probably that away form needs to be sort of remedied. I know it's a bit weird because I think Millwall was actually the first defeat away from home. But we said on this channel over the years, draws will kill you in the end in a promotion race, and undefeated isn't necessarily the best thing in the world. You'd rather be, as I've said, winning 2 and losing 1, like in this 3-game week. They've done home and away, but away from home, you know, they do need to be picking up the wins, don't they? But 6 points for the week, and given Sunderland have only taken 3, we don't know what Sheffield United have done yet ahead of their game. I would suspect Leeds fans will be happy enough, or will they? Or will they be saying, oh, well, Ben, we won the games we were expected to win, but the difficult game away at Millwall, we didn't win. So there might be a little bit of sense of that. Maybe I should just ask the Leeds fans, tell me in the comments, which side do you fall on? If I'm looking at the table, I'm seeing Leeds are doing enough. Are they streaking away with the first place? No, not yet, but maybe that might happen. Maybe it won't. We'll find out, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. That, to me, is the top of the table picture. Again, Sheffield United fans, ahead of your huge derby match this coming lunchtime. Right, we'll throw up those four now. Watford, Burnley, Boro, Millwall. Watford, I mean, it's just a wow, isn't it? I so did not expect them to be up here. They beat Oxford 1-0 on Friday night at the Vic. And we talked about draws killing you. Watford are not drawing. Of their last 10, they've won 5 and they've lost 5. So it's kind of very inconsistent. Couldn't be more inconsistent, could it, when you're winning half and losing half? But that knocks out a 1.5 points per game. And in terms of a playoff push, especially when you're backing that up against a really good home record, Watford have got 19 points in 7 home games. They've literally dropped 2 points at home all season. They are magnificent at the Vic. It's going to be a damning with faint praise one, Watford fans. So take this in the spirit it said, because I think it's amazing you're up there. But the inconsistency, and I'm looking, 23 goals against. Out of the top 14, nobody has conceded fewer goals than that. So there are signs to say that there will be a Watford drop-off because it's inconsistent. They lose a fair amount of games. It's heavily stacked against home form. They concede a lot of goals. But, I mean, for God's sake, could go the other way, couldn't it? They could start defending better and picking up points away from home. I think the first way is more likely, but you've got to say superb, Tom Cleverley. 4th place right now. Again, Burnley play Swansea. They haven't played yet, so I believe there's an overtake on the cards. Even a Burnley draw will take them past Watford. But yeah, fair dues, Tom Cleverley. We dealt with Burnley, I guess. They haven't played yet. Middlesbrough, are they the big winners in the playoff picture this week? I think they might be. 6 points for Boro. Yes, they lost to Coventry, didn't they, in the first game of the 3-game week. But there was an early red card in that game, which can perhaps explain it away somewhat, can't it? 4-1 and 5-1, they've won the last 2 games. Okay, you could say soft opposition, because they were playing QPR and Luton, who are down at the bottom of the table. By the way, keep your eyes out on the channel for a potential Rob Edwards leaves Luton video. I don't know that if you've seen that interview after the game. That seemed very resigned, didn't it, from Rob Edwards? But look, I'm going to ask the question that you'll just laugh when I ask it. But Boro finally click. And I know we've asked about 5 times already this season. We've only played 15 games. That feels like a really great win. It looks like Doak, the guy on loan from Liverpool, is kind of contributing now. McGree in the midweek. Latte is scoring, Azaz. It looks like those attacking players are now all kind of starting to deliver. And there was this sense at the last international break where the bookies were still very heavily on Boro, weren't they? I think based on underlying metrics and the fact that Boro, in theory, should have been scoring more goals and getting more wins than they were, and they weren't quite putting them together. 10 points in the last 5. The goals are flowing. 6 for the week. Boro into the playoff positions. Once again, West Brom play later today, so there could be an overtake there. I don't know. Let me just leave it with the same question. Are Boro finally clicking, or will they come back and have a dodgy week and we'll have to ask again in 4 weeks' time? I don't know. Tell me if you're a Boro fan. Millwall are now well and truly in the picture, aren't they? They drew 1-1 at Stoke, so they kind of surged their way up the table with the 4 straight 1-0 wins and got into the playoffs on, was it Wednesday night they played Leeds or Tuesday? I can't quite remember, but in midweek anyway. And they've dropped out kind of immediately with a draw, but still, from a Millwall point of view, it's absolutely fantastic that they're now part of a playoff conversation, aren't they? 7 unbeaten, 14 games for Millwall, 14 under 1.5 goals conceded in all competitions. I think that coincides with Tanganga getting fit and actually being in the team as well. So what you can say about Millwall is there is a huge pattern of them being very hard to score against, 0s and 1s in the past 14 games. They are in 7th and they are in the conversation, and they have a kind of a personality about them that does feel very Millwall. By the way, I think, was it Jake Cooper with the shirt pull? That should have been a penalty and a red card, shouldn't it? I think even the most hardened Millwall fan would admit that one. But look, they're on a run and they're in the conversation. And I'm sure if we spoke to Millwall fans at the previous international break and said, you know, what are we going to be saying? We're going to be saying it's a playoff conversation now. Well, they would have been very, very happy about that. So fair play Millwall, even though they've been maybe usurped as the big winners here. How many points have they got across the week, Millwall? They've got 7 points across the week. So when I'm talking about big winners, Boro only got 6. It does feel like the nature of those back-to-back Boro wins, though, and where they've finished the week maybe entitles me to say that. But hey, you tell me in the comments, maybe Millwall are the big winners this weekend. It would have been great to see them do a 9-point week, though, wouldn't it? Just on the outskirts to finish off, I'm going to talk about Blackburn, who had a great win at Cardiff yesterday, especially considering the Cardiff form recently. They are 2 points off the playoffs, but I'm sure if you're a Blackburn fan, you're probably saying, all right, okay, fine, it's just a reset win, because Blackburn have been in very poor form, hadn't they? First win in 5, and they hadn't scored in any of those 4 games. So I think in terms of Blackburn, it's very much right, the rot has stopped after an excellent start. Can John Eustace, damn good Championship manager, seemingly put them on another run? By the way, I like the look of kind of Campbell and Travis combining in midfield for a couple of those goals as well. So, and Vyman, Ohashi, they've got goals up ahead, haven't they? Maybe they can go on another run. But in my opinion, for Blackburn, we're just talking about a reset and go again in the next block of games coming up to Christmas. Gets busy again, doesn't it? Bristol City had a really good win at Norwich. 6 points for the week as well for Bristol City. And they got all of those 6 points away from home. And when you talk about Bristol City, they've had 1 defeat in 10 games. And that came in midweek in the 98th minute against Sheffield United, a Year 1 parachute team, when they were down to 10 men as well. So you can call the mitigating factor on that one. They're a bit stoic. And I don't know, are they a bit dull? Is that fair for me to say? Bristol City fans, you tell me. They're certainly bloody hard to beat at the moment. They're on a good run. There's lots of draws in there. And we'll go for the theme of draws kill you. And, well, you tell me, Bristol City fans, would you swap with Watford over the last 10 for the 5 wins and the 5 defeats against the 1 defeat in 10? But what is there, 5 or 6 draws in there as well? Well, Bristol City fans can answer that. But they're on the outskirts as well there, 2 points off it. And, I mean, they're certainly on a better trend than the likes of West Brom and Blackburn currently. West Brom are very draw heavy, but again, haven't played their game against Hull just yet. I've put Norwich in the image there because I'm really disappointed with Norwich. We got to start of October and they just absolutely battered Hull. And Sainz looks like he's the best player in the league, and Sargent is there as well, contributing. And I don't know, everything kind of looked like, oh, here go Norwich again, reset, another promotion incoming. They're doing what they do. And it's been terrible since then. 6 without a win. They went 3 draws and 0 point week from Norwich. Did not expect that at all. I know they've had some real concentrated injury issues. I know there's a big drop off with the goalie being injured and central midfield was gone. And I don't know if Sargent was back yesterday, but no, he wasn't around in midweek. So yeah, just I expected to be having Norwich well in this conversation now, and they're down in 14th. But hey, Championship, everybody, they're only 6 points off it. Go and score 11 points in your next 5 games or whatever, and you're back in the picture. There you go. Really exciting playoff picture. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Really exciting day as well. It is Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Hull, West Brom, Burnley versus Swansea as well today. Those are your hot takes. Get in the comments, and we'll see you tomorrow with Sam for the Championship Check-In podcast.